Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. 103. भौतिकत्वं पुरा प्रोक्तं सद्वक्तुं देहबाह्ययोः इन्द्रियद्वारतो बोद्धुं प्रोच्यते मरणक्रमः. Indriyas, sense organs and organs of actions as the sadhana dwara for Atmavabodha, to know what the Atma Swarupa is being considered now. Indriyas are bhautika. Bhautika means made up of bhutas element, just like the deha and external objects. So now to arrive at what Atma Swarupa is, for gaining the knowledge of Atma through the Indriyas, the order in which the death takes place is being considered now. Let us see what is that order of death. We have seen the Shruti Purushasya Prayataha Vang Manasi Sampadyate Manah Prani Pranah Tejasi Tejah Parasyam Devatayam. This is now explained in two stanzas, 104, 105. Niyamanasya vāgādivrittir manasi līyate manovrittir layah prāne prānavrittestu tejasi. Niyamanasya vāgādivrittihi. Vāgādivrittihi join both. Not separate, but one. It is a compound. Vagadinam vrittihi vagadi vritti. Not separate words, in one word. Vagadinam vrittihi vagadi vritti. Continuing. Manasi liyate. Manovrittehe prane layaha. Manovrittehe prane layaha. Pranavrittehe tu tejasi, again layaha, add syat. Manovrittehe prane layaha, syat also to be added. Then pranavrittehe tu tejasi layaha syat. Vriyamanasya, the person who is on the verge of dying. What happens? Vagadi vrittihi. Vrittihi functions. The functions of speech, sight, all these. So, what happens? Where do they go? Manasi liyati. It gets merged in the mind. Means the person is able to know, but generally it happens. No? Do you recognize me? Do you recognize me? Do you hear me? Not nowadays. Nowadays all tubes are poked in all holes. Additional holes also are made and tubes are inserted. Generally, a person who is ailing for a long time and is on the point of dying, whether to know whether he is aware of it. Do you recognize me? Who is this? The sun has come from a distant place now. Who is this? Like that they ask. Okay. So he is not able to respond. He is not able to recognize. What is meant by not able to recognize? Eyes are there. Means the sight has gone now. It has merged in the mind. He is not able to speak. So that vagadi, all indriyas, this indriya vrittis functions, manasi liyate. Still he is feeling, etc. Means aware of whatever pain, etc. he is aware. That also goes now. Manovrittehe prane layaha sya. functions of the mind, already the indriyas have been withdrawn now, the functions of the mind Where they merge now? Prane layaha syat. Prana in the pranas, because still the heart is pumping and few things are respiration is going on. So therefore, but the mind is not aware of anything. You can say coma or whatever it may be. He is not aware of the world around. Other people are wheeling, etc. He is not aware of anything. He is not aware of prane. Then where the prana goes? Prana vritti hetu tejasi. Pranas have already left the body. Suksha Sharira has already left the body. So tejasi, in the fire. Why? Still the body has got the warmth. Now it is still lingering there. So that is how the indriyas through the mind merge where? In the prana. Prana in the teja. And we know teja is from where? Sadvastu. The cause is Sadvastu. So how teja without that prana is? Teja also gives some indication. Of course, medical science may say something about the brain, death and heart, receiver, that's okay. But this was a simple way of the knowing the order of death. Shvasa, continuing that how that tejasi, so which does the tejas indicate the life thing, presence of life. Shvasasyoparata ushnam sprishtva jivana nischayam. Kurvantyushnam tu tattejaha sadvastu niviliyate. Shvasasya uparatau ushnam sprishtva jivana nischayam kurvanti. Ushnam tu tattejaha sadvastuni viliyate. Shvasasya uparatau. Now the shvasa, breathing has stopped. Maybe very faint may be there, not totally, very faint breathing may be there, but generally it is stopped now. Ushnam sprishtva jivana nischayam kurvanti. So whether this person is alive or not. So ushnam sprishtva, they touch the body. Of course, doctor may feel the pulse, that is okay, but all people don't know what to detect the pulse, etc. But they go on the, that means olden days, they used to feel the body as such. If warmth is there, perhaps he may come back with chances are there. So that is our definition of death. Whether your brain or heart, let them discuss. Our definition of death is what? The person is not supposed to return to the body. So if he returns, means he was not dead, that's all. Whatever may be the other your anatomical or physiological condition, so if he returns, means he was not dead. So that's fine. So that is how it is. So they, that is, feel the body. So shvasasya uparatau. Then the shvasa, breathing has stopped. Uparati stopped here. Stop. What the people do? Ushnam sprishtva. So touching the body, feeling the warmth. Jivana nischayam kurvani. If it is warm, they still feel that, means still person is alive. If it is totally cold, gone. That's what they say. If it is warm, see, let us see something can be done or not, or something they think. So jivan nischayam kurvanti. Then what about ushnam? What is that ushna, the warmth in the body? Ushnam tu tat tejaha. That warmth, that heat is nothing but the teja, the fire principle. Because heat belongs to fire, tejaha. And where it goes? Sad vastu niviliyate. It merges back in the sat vastu, which is cause as such. Finally, the sat is the mula of the karya. What are those? The indriyas, vagadi. So therefore, indriyas, all these are what? Vacharambhanam vikaro namadeyam. So what is the truth is sat only. In this manner, through the indriyas, one can find out the one swarupa to be Atma Swarupa, Sat Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa. So now, having shown these three as Atmavagati Dwarani. What are those Atmavati Dwarani? Chichaya Sthula Deha and Indriya, where they were introduced in stanza 85 and explained from 74 to up to here 105. Why this was told? As an introduction to show the Brahmatva of Jiva. This Brahma in reality is nothing but Jiva. You are aware of it. Okay. The Jiva in reality is nothing but Brahma. Okay. Then you reverse it. Brahma connected to Jiva. Jiva in reality is nothing but Brahma. But Brahma, come on, due to ignorance appears as though samsari Jiva. Brahma, due to ignorance, appears as though, Maya, etc., that's fine, appears as though samsari Jiva. But the samsari Jiva in reality is nothing but Brahma. So this is not a pep talk, okay? So sorrow is so much in samsara. So therefore, look here, you are so great, you are Brahma, etc. Just to enthuse, no, this is the truth. Better we discover. If not yet discovered, at least have that Shraddha, this is the truth, and take to the means by which the mind can be prepared and this knowledge can be gained. And also, first have Shraddha. Shraddha in Shastra. Shraddha has to be in the Shastras. Who has given this Upanishad? Ishvara. It can't be otherwise. Maybe I am not able to know it, I am not able to verify the truth of it, but it can never be otherwise. It can never go wrong. That's why Shraddha is very important. So it gives the boost to the subsequent sadhanas that are required and one can take to them. So as an introduction to show the Brahma Swarupa of Jiva, and why Brahma Swarupa of Jiva has to be discovered, thereby the samsaritva, jivatva of this individual gets terminated, gets eliminated. He discovers himself to be nothing but Brahma. So now, SVETAKETU, having given this basis, SVETAKETU is pointed out now. SVETAKETU, you are nothing but Brahma in reality. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi is now being explained from 106 to 101. The corresponding Shruti mantra is like this: 6, 8, 7. Sahayaha. Oh, SVETAKETU, Sahayaha. Who is that? That one. What is that? Sadakhyaha. The one who is called as Sat. Eshaha Anima. He is this Eshaha. Anima. What is Anima? Anubhavaha. The most subtle means Jagataha Moolam. So the Jagataha Moolam. The mantra is Saya Esha Anima Etadatmyam Idam Sarvam Tat Satyam Atma Tattvam Asi SVETAKETU. This is the mantra having the first Tattvam Asi. 9 times it appears. Sa Ya Esha Anima. You note that. Sa Ya Esha Anima Etadatmyam Idam Sarvam Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvam Asi. So you get word by word, you'll see Sahayaha. Who is the Sahayaha? Sadakhyaha, who is called as Sat, and where we have now ascertained that Sat as the very cause of entire creation itself is what? Eshaha Anima. Anima, of these words will be explained in the verses also. Anubhavaha. Anima means, Anubhava means Jagataha Moolam. It is the very cause of entire creation. Etadatmyam Idam Sarvam. Idam Sarvam. Sarvam is Jagat. Is Etadatmyam. Idam Sarvam Etadatmyam. What is that Etadatmyam? Etat means this Sat has its entire Jagat has Sat as its Atma. Its Atma means Swarupa. So this entire Idam Sarvam means this entire Jagat. Sarvam stands for Jagat. Etadatmyam means this word has this. This means what? Sat as its Atma means as its Swarupa. That is what he said. Etadatmyam idam sarvam. Tat. That means that Sat. Refer to there. What's its nature? Satyam. Paramartha Sat. It is the absolute truth. No change, no destruction, no beginning. Absolute reality. Satyam. Saha. You can add eva. Verily that Sat is what? Atma. Is the Atma. That the Pratyak Swarupa. The Jagataha Karanam. The cause of the Jagat. The true I. Therefore, SVETAKETU. Tat Tvam Asi SVETAKETU. O SVETAKETU, Tvam, you, Asi, are Tat. That Sat, which is the very basis of entire creation, is your Swarupa. So this is what is the first Tattvamasi. Totally 9 times it has been told. The first Tattvamasi now being explained from 106 to 111. Chaya dehendriya dvarai padartho yotra bodhitaha. Sa eva sarva jagato nima vastvantaram natu. Atra Chaya dehendriyadraihi yaha padarthaha bodhitaha saha eva sarva jagataha ad moolam anima vastvantaram natu. Atra means in this Upanishad, and here from stanza 74 to 105. Chaya dehendriya dvaraihi sadhanaihi. Through these means, what are those? Chaya. What is chaya? Chichaya. What is chichaya? Upalakshana for jiva. Through the swapiti, sleep. That was actually. Deha, stula deha. Indriya, through these dvaraihi, through these means, yaha padarthaha, whatever the thing. What padartha? Sadakhyaha padarthaha, the vastu called Sat. So padartha bodhitaha was revealed, was taught means was revealed. These were used as atmavagati dvara or sadhana. Atmavabodha dvara or sadhana. Whatever that padartha sadakhya was revealed. Sahayeva. So that sadakhyaha eva, alternated Ingit, ishaha also is there, is verily this. Saha eva sarva jagataha moolam. It is the moola, the karana, the basis of entire jagat. Also it is what? Anima. Anima means ati sukshma. Ati sukshma will be, anima etc. will be explained, means indriya gochara, not an object of sense organs. Anima. And other than this, there is no cause for the word. Like Nayayikas etc., Vaisheshikas, they speak of Paramanu etc. These cannot be the cause of the word. So therefore he refutes the other as the other than Sat, there is no cause for the word. Vastvantaram natu. Vastvantaram, namely like Paramanu etc., posed by other schools of thoughts as the cause of the Jagat, is not correct. That cannot be the Jagat Karanam. Now this Saya, Esha, At, Anima, etc., this Shruti is going to be explained word by word. See, this Jagat is perceptible. Jagat comprising Nama and Rupa is gross and is perceptible. Indriya Gamyam. Which Jagat? Thulam Jagat. This Thula Jagat, gross word. And what is its nature? Nama Rupatmakam. It has got names and forms. Its gross in nature is Indriya Gamyam, is perceptible through the Indriyas. What about Advaita Sat? Indriya Gamyam or Indriya Gamyam? Indriyaihi Agamyam. By Indriyas, including the mind, cannot be known as an object. As an object. As Vishayikarana, objectifying, you can't know Sat Chaitanya Brahma through Indriyas or the mind. So therefore, because it cannot be known through the Indriyas, it is called as what? Sukshma. Therefore it is Sukshma. And for that, the Shruti uses the word Anima. So that meaning of that Anima is now in 107 and the first line of 108. The Anima from the Shruti. Which Shruti? 6, 8, 7 Chandogya. Then in the second line of 108, Aitadatmyamidam sarvam. That Shruti, the meaning is given. Aitadatmyamidam sarvam. First Anima, then in the second line of 108, Aitadatmyamidam sarvam is being explained. Sthulatvanutva rupabhyam vastvekam bhasate dvidha. Sthulamindriya gamyatvan nama rupatmakam jagat. Sadadvaitam bhavet sukshmamindriya vishayatvatah. Etadatmakataivasya sthulasetiha yojyate. There, vastvekam bhasate. Just note the sandhi breaking. Vastu ekam bhasate. Now take that ekam, then vastu. Sthulatvanutva rupabhyam. Sthulatva and anutva are there. Sthulatvanutva rupabhyam vidha bhasate. Vidha bhasate. Continuing 108. Sukshmam indriya vishayatvatah. So indriyanam avishayatvatah indriya vishayatvatah. Sukshmam indriya vishayatvatah. Sad advaitam bhavet. Sad advaitam bhavet. Iha asya sthulasya etadatmakata yujyati. Iha asya sthulasya etadatmakata yujyati. Sthulam indriya gamyatvat nama rupatmakam jagat ad bhavati. As it is. Sthulam indriya gamyatvat nama rupatmakam jagat ad bhavati. Ekam vastu. What is ekam vastu? Namely sat. Sad vastu. Sthulatvanutva rupabhyam. In these two forms, sthulatva, gross, sukshmatva, anutva means sukshmatva, subtle. In terms of these two forms, as gross and subtle, vidha bhasati appears to be twofold. Vastu is one, appears to be twofold. Gross and subtle. What is that gross and what is that subtle? Let us see. Sthulam, that is the gross aspect of one and the same sat. Indriya gamyatva, because it is perceptible through the sense organs. Indriya gamyatva, it is nothing but this. What is it? Nama rupatmakam jagat bhavati. It is the jagat of the having comprising nama and rupa, names and forms. So, how it has become this, all that we have seen in the creation by Maya, etc., Bahubhavana, all that has been seen. What is the Sukshma aspect of the one and the same Sat Vastu? Says, Sukshmam Indriya Vishayattvataha, being not an object of Indriyas. Avishayattvataha, being not an object, not a Vishaya of the Indriyas. So what is that? Sad Advaitam Bhavi. Sat Advaita is what? The Sukshma aspect. Means one and the same Sat appears as Jagat. Jagat is not different from the Sat Brahma, but Jagat being Sthula is Indriya Gamya, Sat being Sukshma Indriya and not Vishaya of Indriyas. So this is what is called as Anima, the Sukshma, for which the contrast with the Sthula is being given. Now, not Etadatmya, Aitadatmya Vidam Sarvam. That is explained there. Aitadatmya. What is that Aitadatmya Vidam Sarvam? Shruti says, Iha. Iha means here. Here means where? Avaleshwar. Where? In this Jagat, Asmin Srishtau. In this Srishti, in this creation, Asya Etadatmakata. Asya Sthulasya. Iha means Asmin Srishtau, in this creation, Asya of this Sthulasya. What is Sthulasya? Sthulasya Jagataha, of this gross word. Etadatmakata eva yujyate. Yujyate is proper. What is proper? Etadatmakata. Etadatmakata means having etad, means this Sat as its Atma, the Swarupa. Atma also can mean Swarupa, the true nature. So therefore what says? So Iha, in this Srishti, the Jagat, for this Stula Jagat, for the gross world, this is proper. What is proper? Etadatmakata. Etad means having this Sat, that is what Etat, as the very Atma, the Swarupa. We have seen now, entire Jagat has got the basis, cause, where in the Sat. That's what is the Swarupa. So that is the true nature. And what about the Jagat Nama Rupatmaka? Vikara, Vacharam Vanam Vikaraha. So that is what Yujyate. From what we have seen so far, it is but proper. Now further, the Shruti, Tat Satyam. So what is that Tat Satyam? Its meaning here in 109. Tat stands for Sat. Satyam means Paramartha Satvastu. That Shruti is now explained. Anutvam vastuna proktam yat tat satyam avadhanat. Sthulatvam maya kutam jnane naitasya badhanat. Yat vastunaha anutvam proktam tat satyam. Add utaha. Add utaha. Second line. Etasya sthulatvam mayaya kutam. Further add utaha. Continue. Jnanena badhana. Jnanena badhana. Yat vastunaha anutvam. No. Badhana. Earlier abadhana. First line abadhana. Second line badhana. Where? Tats acha. Tat kutaha. Acha. Kutaha. Then continue abadhana. Okay. Yat vastunaha anutvam proktam tat satyam. Add kutaha. Continue abadhana. Yat. Yat here in the sense. Yat vastuna means yasya vastunaha. Which vastu means sat vastu. What was told earlier? Anima anutvam proktam. Anutvam sukshmatvam. Whatever that Sukshmatva that was told with regard to Sat Vastu, that is what? Tat Satyam. That Sat Vastu which is Anu Sukshma is what? Satya. What do you mean by Satya? Trikala Abadita. That which exists ever without any change or destruction. Kutaha. How do you say that is Sat? Because you find this. Abadhanat. Abadhanat. Kalatraye api nashabhava. Abadhanat means even in 3 periods of time, Kalatraye api nashabhava. There is no nasha, destruction for that. Therefore, that Sukshma Vastu Sat, that is what? Satyam. What about the Jagat then? Etasya Sthulatvam Maya Kluptam. Kluptam means projected. By what? Maya means that Sthulatva of the Jagat is what? Mayikam means Maya Karyam. Effect of Maya. It's the effect of Maya. And because it is effect of Maya, what is nature? False in nature. Maya itself is false. And that being the case, because it is falsely projected, so therefore what? Etasya jnanena badhana. How do you say? It is false. Jnanena badhana. It gets negated, because it gets negated, so by jnana. Be careful. It is negated by jnana, not by any other means. See, how can you kill the delusive snake which appears on the rope? Not other snake, not actual snake. Rope is mistaken as the snake. How can you kill it? Take a revolver and shoot it, is it? Or take a stick and beat it, is it? You have to see the base is the rope by light, nothing else. You may do all along, but that will continue. So, or scare away, no? So that it will not go. So therefore, likewise, here, Jagat, you can negate where? Only in Jnana. In Jnana, what do? Just as you see the rope, directly cognize Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, Jagat, no more there. Afterward, you need not. That means, remove it, it already gets terminated. So that Badhanat, because it gets negated. So, it shows, if it were real means not Kalpita, it will not get negated. That is why in sleep, Jagat is not there. Don't ask, Swamiji, when I sleep, Jagat is not there, but my neighbor was awake, therefore Jagat was there, is it not? Yes or no? All nowadays, all nocturnals in the club, for Jagat is there, we were sleeping, that is there. Jagat always individual. My Jagat, what is my Jagat? My world is sum total of my all experiences. That Jagat may be there for the public as such, but my Jagat is gone. Unless I experience, the Jagat is not there. So therefore, we are talking from the individual standpoint, and that why arriving at Atma Swarupa. So, and that's why even if one person gains knowledge, the Jagat is gone for whom? That person. Other idiots continue. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatari shayanam. So that continues. So therefore, always it is individual, not my neighbor is awake and Jagat is there, that is not the argument. That we say, that is, if it were real, it can't be Kalpita, and that is not, it cannot have the Nasha. The very fact that Jagat gets terminated in knowledge, and with knowledge again not picking up information, that is Paroksha. That is fine. First step necessary. But proceed further, have Aparoksha Jnana, direct cognition, Jagat get terminated. Sa Atma Tattvam Asi SVETAKETU. This needs to be elaborated. The first line explains now Sa Atma of this mantra 687. The remaining second, that is Tattvam Asi SVETAKETU, explained in second line of 110. Saha Atma, with that Atma, Abadhyo yasa evatma sarvasya natu kalpitaha. Svetaketu yadadvaitam tadasitvam namanavaha. Yaha abadhyaha saha eva sarvasya atma. Natu kalpitaha. Svetaketu yad advaitam, add sat, tat, tad, tat, tvam, asi, na manavaha, na manavaha. Yaha, the one who is like this. Abadhyaha. That's it. Abadhya means that which is anu, that which is satya. So that abadhya, not negated, not destroyed, not subject to destruction. Saha eva, verily that only, sarvasya atma. Atma, I of everyone. See, sarvasya atma. Don't think my atma and your atma is who? Saitan. Sarvasya atma. That also shows true I in me is the true I in all. That is why it is said. So you see, all our injunctions of Shastras are keeping in view directly or indirectly finally this discovery. For example, so we should not hate anyone. We should love all. Why? If I hate someone and if I try to gain Atma Jnana, everything is Atma, but except that rascal. Right? How can I? That pocket is there towards which I have got the hatred. Means I will not be able to gain the knowledge. Other thing. By hating someone, whom do we actually hate? If aitadatmam idam sarvam, if Sat itself is the everything, if Brahma itself is everything, and if that means Ishvara also is everything or not? Same thing. Sat Brahma only from the standpoint of Jagat is called Ishvara. Everything is what? Ishvara. I go to temple and worship and adore Ishvara, and when that Ishvara comes in the form of all that being, what do? I hate. See. No, in the case of certain saints, etc., avatars, such episodes are there. In the case of Shirdi Sai Baba, he told a lady, because he was a devotee, I am hungry, get me some roti or puran poli or something, I think roti or something. So, she ran in a nearby house, she ran because she was happy that he has asked me to bring this. She was happy. She was preparing it, and she was about to come. A dog came. I think, so now she was in dilemma. To give the dog or to give that we give the Shirdi Baba. What she did, after she had that. Otherwise somebody would have driven away, I said. She gave one roti to dog and went. He said, I am happy. I got it. Thank you. I got it. That's it. In other case, it happened that lady bet and driven away this thing and came. See, I came to you and you have beaten me and you are bringing this. So that is how it is. So that is in the case of them, Maharaj said, that Sarvatma Bhava is what? So prominent. And this is because of certain powers, not that otherwise, because of certain powers appearing as the dog, etc. But Sarvatma Bhava. What is Sarvatma Bhava? Atma in me is the Atma in everyone. But that person has done the mistake. That is that person's funeral. Why you bother about that? You mind your own business. We can't correct the world. That's how it is. So maybe I have not done anything wrong, but it is done to me. Yes, it is possible. That is true. But let us be serious about our pursuit. Is it not that? So when we are preoccupied in some higher pursuit, the pinpricks in life we don't bother at all. When the exams are nearing, students are what? Not much bothered about the other thing if they are serious about it. Okay, that is how it is. Is it not? So those, for example, those our forefathers who had fought for the freedom of the nation, the freedom fighter. See how much suffering, etc. they had to undergo. Do you mean to say they had no wife, children and all home and hearth? They had not. But what? My country must be free. Fired by that ideal, they were undergoing all this. They were not paying much attention to all these inconveniences in life. So like that, yes, somebody is hated, I am not at fault, the person is at fault, but when I am in this pursuit, I have no time and I have no energy to spend on these things. Let me mind my own business. And the truth is what? My Swarupa is the same Swarupa of each and everyone, including the enemy as such. That's how it is. So that's why I said, maybe I have not discovered the Atma Swarupa, Bhagavad Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa. But Shastra says everything is manifestation of Sat or Parameshwara. So therefore, if I hate someone, to whom it is, it goes. That's why I say from that standpoint. So that Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati. That's Sanskrit Subhashita. Just as the rain water that falls, directly or indirectly, finally goes where? To the canals, rivulets, rivers, finally goes to where? Ocean. So also, Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pratigacchati. Salutations offered to all deities finally goes to whom? Keshava. Again, Keshava means Parameshwar Tattva, not Vaikuntavasi Vishnu alone as such. Corollary also is true. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarva jiva tiraskaraha keshavam eva pratigacchati. So, tiraskara, hatred of all jivas, goes to whom? Verily to Keshava. And that Keshava, what do you do? By bhajan you do what? You praise and glorify the Keshava. And you hate this Keshava. So that's it. You know why? That is that disposition. If we, that means we get rid of that, mind has got that disposition by which it can discover this. It is for our own good. Anything, many of this, our Shastras have got that far-sightedness. Maybe all may not have been explained. With Shraddha, have that, live that Achara, have that Achara. The mind has to be ready and one has to gain the knowledge. So, Yahas Abadhyaha. So, one who is Abadhyaha. So, that who is not, this cannot be negated, destroyed. Saha Sarvasya Atma is the Atma of all. No exception whatsoever. Even an ant or an amoeba, its Atma is what? This only. Maybe Indra. Even Parameshwara, the I in Parameshwara is what? Same thing. So, Sarvasya Atma Natu Kalpitaha. That Atma is not falsely projected, not Maya Karya. So, not a falsely projected, not means it's not a Karya, it is the very final Karana. Therefore, O Shvetaketu, Yad Advaitam Sat. So whatever that was now, that is ascertained as Advaita non-dual Sat, Tat, that Sat, Tvam Asi, you are. If you say, how is it that? I am Shvetaketu, Mr. Shvetaketu, Na Manavaha. You are not a human being. Human being means embodiment. Human embodiment comes in picture. You are not this embodiment. You are not Manavaha. So that is what you are. So therefore, this Tat, Tvam Asi, this Vakya, what does it reveal? Jiva Brahma Aikya. So, because of Jiva Brahma Aikya Bodhana, Tattvam Asi iti Vakyam. This sentence, because of its nature, what is that? Jiva Brahma Aikya Bodhana is called as Mahavakyam. It is called as Mahavakyam. So, Mahavakya is what? Not big or great or long. Jiva Brahmaika Vaikya Bodhana Vakya. A statement that reveals the identity of Jiva as nothing but Brahma. That is what is called Mahavakya. Any statement which does this function is called Mahavakya. And in this Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter, we get this Mahavakya 9 times. It is repeated. 9 times it is repeated. Why it is repeated will be seen after. Now, SVETAKETU is directly pointed out that you are that Sat Swarupa Brahma, not this human embodiment, you are not this human being. A question can come like this. In the Shruti, Aityadatma Vidam Sarvam. Aityadatma Vidam Sarvam was told. Idam Sarvam, this entire Jagat is what Aityadatma means. Has this Atma Sat, as Etad, this Sat Brahma as Atma Swarup. When this is said, does it not, now SVETAKETU comes under the Jagat category or outside the Jagat? He is a part of the constituent of the Jagat. So Idam Sarvam Jagat, this entire Jagat is Etad, has got Etad Sat as its Atma, means Swarupa, Sat is Swarupa. SVETAKETU Swarupa is Sat or otherwise? Sat only. Therefore, by the very statement Aitadatmyam iti sarvasya chetanatvoktya, everything is Chetana Swarupa, Sat is told, means SVETAKETU also is necessarily Sat Swarupa. When it is said, Uktya, Advitiyam Siddhyati, everything is what? Advitiya, non-dual Sat only. Separate SVETAKETU is not there. Nothing is there separate than Advaya Sat. When this is proved, and already it was told earlier, Eka Vidnyanena Sarva Vidnyanam Pratidya, already was told. By knowing the cause, one, all effects are known. And which was told by, asked by who? Uddalaka, and also shown. And the Swarupa of everything is nothing but Atma, which includes Uddalaka, SVETAKETU's Swarupa also. If that is the case, why Uddalaka separately told Tattvam Asi? What necessity? You are that Sat Brahma. Aitadatma Idam Sarvam. Everything is what? Everything has got Atma, means Swarupa what? This Sat as its Swarupa. SVETAKETU also has this Sat as what? Swarupa. So he is not the this. Why that separately Tattvamasi is said? That is the question arises, for which now answer is given here. See, what was the concept of SVETAKETU when he returned from the Gurukula? How was it described? Anuchanamani stabdhaha. Anuchanamani. You know who am I? I have studied all these Vedas. I can teach now. I can start a Gurukula also. So that is not, that is, he was considering himself to be someone very special, very superior, most exalted. Stabdhaha. So apranata svabhavaha. Arrogant. So that means he was so arrogant. So that was told. Now, referring to that, whom exactly that anuchanamanitva, stabdatva belongs has to be pointed out to who? SVETAKETU. Ahankara, that identification, the body because of which you had that. But in reality, who are you? This Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, only from that standpoint, so that Tattvamasi had to be told to him. Chichhayavan ahankaro adhite veda chatushtayam. Chichhayavan ahankaro adhite veda chatushtayam. Tvam tu saksheva tasyatas sadasi tvam na cetaraha. Chichhayavan ahankaraha veda chatushtayam adhite. Tvam tu tasya sakshi eva. Sakshi eva. Ataha tvam sad asi nacha itaraha. Nacha itaraha. who studies and who was arrogant and who considered himself as capable of teaching, etc. He says, Chichayavan ahankaraha. Ahankara endowed with chidabhasa, otherwise called as what? Jiva. So Chichayavan ahankaraha jivaha. What does he do? Veda chatushtayam adhite. Studies 4 Vedas. Studies 4 Vedas means not that all jivas, all individuals study 4 Vedas. Oh SVETAKETU, do you know you studied 4 Vedas and you are so arrogant, is it not? Who was that one who studied? Chichayavan ahankara, not Satrupa Atma. So therefore Chichayavan ahankara Veda chatushtayam adhite. Whereas as far as you are concerned, do you know who are you? Tvam tu, whereas you, tasya. Tasya means Chichayavan ahankarasya, or in the case of this SVETAKETU, anuchanamanittvasya. So one who was so arrogant, etc., of that means actually it is ahankarasya. Tvam tu tasya means ahankarasya, Chichayavan ahankarasya, sakshi eva. So you are only sakshi, the direct illuminator. Definition of sakshi. Sakshat anyanapekshaya ikshate prakashayati iti sakshi. So that which makes you know directly without depending on anything else whatsoever, that is what sakshi. The Chaitanya only, Sat Brahma only can be sakshi. So therefore you are the sakshi, the one who is the direct illuminator of this, that ahankara. So therefore ataha, who are you now? Tvam sad asi. So that wrong notion had to be dispelled, because he had that identified in the body. As a result of it, he considered himself to be highly scholastic, and that is what arrogant he was. So tvam, that is that sat asi. Itaraha. Itaraha means that sabhas ahankara or chichayavan ahankara or anuchanamani itaraha nacha. You are not that. Itaraha nacha. So then lastly, the anvaya can be itaraha nacha. Sadasi, sadasi, itaraha nacha. So, SVETAKETU's wrong notion got dispelled. The result of this knowledge. So, when he was directly pointed out that you are the Brahma Swarupa, Sat Swarupa, that is wrong notion got dispelled. So like this, now that result is shown, like in Mundaka, Vidyate Hridaya Granthi, Chidyante Sarvasamsha, Chidyante Sarvasamsha yet to come. Something has to be done. Okay. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi was the result. What is Hridaya Granthi? Adhyasa of Antakarna and Atma. Mutually superimposing the features of Atma and Antakarna. Features of Antakarna superimposed on Atma, the Swarupa of Atma superimposed on inner Antakarna. That Hridaya Granthi, not of the heart, that got dispelled, or that got cut asunder. Bhinno bhud Hridaya Granthi SVETAKETOR vivekataha. Dhidosham samshayam marshtum bhuyo bruhityavocata. First line shows that the Hridaya Granthi, this mutual adhyasa between Antakarna Atma of SVETAKETU got, that means snapped off. Second line is something else, we'll see. Anvaya. Vivekataha SVETAKETOho Hridaya Granthi bhinnaha abhut. Second line. Dhidosham samshayam marshtum bhuyaha bruhiti avochata. Vivekataha. By this Atma Anatma Viveka conducted so far in the manner we have seen now. SVETAKETOho Hridaya Granthi. The Hridaya Granthi, that is what the wrong notion of superimposing the Antakarna, the body, as the features of I, and the Chaitanya as the features of Antakarna and body. that mutual superimposition, bhinnaha abhu, got snapped off, got cut asunder. So, but now the question is, if that is the case, what should SVETAKETU should say? Thank you, Dad. Okay, he has to say, no, he is requesting for further teaching. So that Shruti is there. Bhuya eva ma bhagavan vidnyapayatu. O revered sir. So Bhagavan here is with respect, not, don't take that Bhagavan means what? The creator, etc. No, not that Bhagavan as a Bhagavan is the respect for this thing, or the respected father and the respected guru. So Bhagavan, Bhuya eva ma vidnyapayatu. May you please teach me again. Why? Means repetition. He says, no, doubts are there. So that's why dhi dosha. That dhi dosha means samshaya. So to remove that dhi dosha samshaya nivrutyartham mananam kartum arabate iti bhava. To remove the doubts, one has to take to manana, reflection, consideration of on what has been taught. So that is what for that SVETAKETU further requests father to teach again. So like this, 8 times again taught. And every time, whatever the doubt that SVETAKETU had is dispelled. So totally, and every time, so father says, look, I have repeated, but Tattvamasi only. You are the same Tat, no addition, nothing as such. But your doubt was that for which illustrations are given. Totally 9 times we get. Now further 8 times are going to come, and 8 doubts will be removed. Question and answer session. Question and answer session between now SVETAKETU and Uddalaka father. Now 8 doubts. Very nicely these 8 doubts are posed and the answer will be given. So dhi dosham samshayam marshtum. This defect of mind, intellect, namely samshayam, marshtum, to dispel. Marshtum, to dispel. Bhuyaha bruhi. Again, please teach me again. Iti avochata. So requested. Who requested? SVETAKETU requested to his father. The first doubt, let us see now. Can mark it now. The first doubt. So, see, though the doubts of SVETAKETU are expressly not found in Upanishad, they are implied there. In Upanishad you will not find these doubts, but they are implied there. Bhashyakara Shankaracharya in Bhashya has elaborated, which is summarized by Vidyaranya Muni here. First doubt and the answer. Answer is where? In the teaching of the father, again telling him Tattvamasi. So first doubt. Sata sampadyate jiva sushupta vidyudiritam. Udiritam tatha chet sati sampanno hamityasya kuto nadhi. Da corrected di. Jivaha sushuptau sata, add saha, sampadyate iti udiritam. Sata, add saha, sampadyate iti udiritam. Tatha chet aham sati sampannaha iti asya dhihi kutaha na add bhavati. Tatha chet aham sati sampannaha iti asya dhihi kutaha na add bhavati. See, in 74 to 76, what was told there? Corresponding to 681. Corresponding to 681 Shruti, in stanzas here 74 to 76, it was told. What was told? Jivaha, jiva individual, sushuptau, swamapiti, swapiti. Is a sushuptau, what happens? Sata sampadyate. Sata sa, which sat? Brahma. Sampadyate means what? Eki bhavati. Becomes one with Brahma. Iti udiritam. So it was told. In sleep, jiva becomes one with Brahma. Shruti 681, here stanza 74 to 76. If that is case, tatha chet, aham sati sampannaha iti asya dhi kutaha na bhavet. He should have the knowledge. Do you know what that? I was one with whom? Sat Brahma. After waking up or at the time of sleep, I am one with whom? Brahma. Let us say at the time of sleep not possible because antakarana is not there. But after waking up, why this knowledge is not there? Tatha chet. If this in sleep, if jiva is merged or has become one with Sat, afterward, aham, I, who is that? Sati sampannaha, sati ekabhutaha. Me is the one who was one with whom? Sat iti kutaha on a dhihi. Dhi means knowledge. Kutaha na bhavati. Why does he not know his swarupa, that Sat is my swarupa, because he already one with Sat swarupa. So the request is to explain with drishtanta. Why do I not get that knowledge? In sleep, what was that? I was one with who? Sat swarupa Brahma. This Brahma Sat is my swarupa. Why does he not gain knowledge? So that is now answered here. Let us see. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayanta Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmane Bhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanya Prithivi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Shobharahita Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri